So with the Oklahoma City Thunder taking a surprising win in Dallas in game 4, where a lot of Oklahoma City Thunder fans probably thought, hey, we're going down 3-1 in this series, and we're likely going to lose it here in the next 2 games. Oklahoma City really showed us something in this game that I think a lot of Thunder fans are missing. And I think it's something that we have to talk about, and I think it's something that you have to potentially be excited for. Before we talk about it, though, I need to hear from y'all, so make sure you're joining the discussion, jumping down in the comments below, giving me your thoughts, your opinions, because Game 4 was a lot of fun, and I think one of my favorite moments from Game 4 was watching Kenrich Williams come out, seeing PJ Washington continue to act like a fool, and to basically cause both of them to get a double, or, well, for there to be a double technical, one technical on each. I think that was a momentum changer for the series alone, because I felt like it was one of those things of, yeah, we're done with that. And for the most of the series, Dallas has really showed their experience in the playoffs. They have showed their ability to do what works and be able to deviate a little bit of what has worked in the regular season, knowing it's not always going to work in the playoffs. And a lot of that's going to PJ Washington, right? Understanding PJ Washington's got the hot hand. And in the playoffs, when you have a role player like PJ Washington who's going off, you feed the hot hand and you let the role player beat the other team, especially if they're not going to respect him a little bit. And yesterday, Oklahoma City respected him a little bit on defense, making sure they were rotating, getting to those corner threes. But this is what I think Oklahoma City Thunder fans are missing about last night. Oklahoma City, when you look at the box score, this was pretty shocking to me. 38% from the field. Dallas shot 40%. The three-point line. OKC, 25%. Dallas was 34%. And this wasn't, oh, well, Oklahoma City rebounded more than the Dallas Mavericks. No, the Dallas Mavericks won the rebound battle 47-45. Oklahoma City, if you look at it, 35 of 92 from the field, 7 of 27 from 3. Dallas, 36 of 88, 12 of 35 from 3. So Dallas really making it up in the three-point square. Oklahoma City, though, gets 4 more shots off than Dallas. What I think is important to note here is we've talked about the Thunder being so inexperienced. And can you really count Shea and Dort's experience in the bubble as real playoff experience? Because they didn't have to play in front of crowds like Dallas. It's a little bit different. Last night, we saw the Thunder put up one of their worst shooting performances of the season. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. And they crawled and scrapped back from, at one point, I think, being down 14 points to shifting momentum in that game, taking the lead right at the end, and not giving it back. In multiple moments, it looked like Oklahoma City was starting to crumble in the last couple of minutes of the game. But they didn't. They figured it out. And I think you're starting to see this team adapt in ways that I don't think anybody has ever expected a young team like this to be able to adapt. They're completely breaking the algorithm for how teams should be able to go and compete for championships. They have a chance to go compete for a Western Conference Finals. And a lot of these guys, it's their first run. Oklahoma City won a game last night they had no business winning. And I think the experience they get from last night can carry them through the rest of the series. And the other thing is, if you're Dallas, what kind of blow does this take into your psyche? Because you had a chance. You had Oklahoma City in your grasps. You had them on the hook. But you couldn't reel them in. You couldn't finish. And for Dallas, it's got to be a devastating blow, knowing you got to go back to Oklahoma City and try to win a game where it's going to be hard because I would expect Game 5 will be the best playoff atmosphere this season. And I bet Dallas is going to struggle in that game. You're not going to see Oklahoma City shoot 38% from the field again. I don't think that's likely. Dallas had an opportunity and they squandered it. And Oklahoma City found ways to win. And when it started to look like the odds were against them, things were crumbling, they figured it out. And that's going to be an important factor throughout the rest of the series. Whether it goes 6 games or 7 games, it's going to matter. Because Oklahoma City now knows if we don't shoot well, if we're down a couple points, we got this. We can defend Dallas well enough, and we know what we can do against them to make this a competitive game. Now, to the Giddey situation, I think you continue to play Giddey. But if you're Oklahoma City, you got to get the lead first. I think Giddey plays well enough for you on defense and does enough for you to create shots that if Oklahoma City can get an 8 to 10 point lead, you put Giddey out there because you're not having to play from behind, and it's where the Thunder like to play. I think this was an incredible performance by Oklahoma City. Not necessarily what they did on the court in terms of shooting the lights out, but just being able as a young team to show no quit and to be able to put it together. If you're an Oklahoma City fan, that's got to give you a little bit of hope that this team, they're not done, and they might just make it to the Western Conference Finals. So I want to hear from y'all. Make sure you guys are joining the discussion, jumping down in the comments below, giving me your thoughts, your opinions on Game 4, because it was a crazy one, and it's one that I would like to hear your thoughts on.